No?
लिंक क्यों कर रहा है? बैटरी खत्म हो गया फिर।
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the office of the Chief Electoral Officer in Nagaland. Today, at the close of the polls, we have we welcome each and every one of you here. I am Zavinyo Teño, Additional Director and HOD of DIPR Nagaland. Here we have Mr. V. Shashank Shekhar, IAS, the Chief Electoral Officer of Nagaland. And we have the other speaker, Mr. Dimasanab, IPS. He is IGP Range and State Police Nodal Officer. And we have Mr. Rokovitio Keje, Additional Chief Electoral Officer, Nagaland. Thank you for being here. Now we will hear the briefing from the Chief Electoral Officer, Nagaland.
Thank you. Today being the polling day, thank you. Today being the polling day, this is what has often been called the festival of democracy. We have been interacting with our journalist colleagues for the last several weeks now. Not audible?
Sir, mic please. इसका नाम चाहिए। वो तो कल भी दिया था ना? कल भी तो दिया। हाँ भाई जल गया। हेलो। इलेक्शन कमीशन की नागालैंड। इलेक्शन कमीशन।
Good evening.
इलेक्शन कमीशन।
In a democracy, the polling day has also been called the festival of democracy. So, for this day, all of us have been interacting with our journalist friends also over several weeks now, and you have been with us through this day also. I know one of the most important things in your mind, so it is available in the public domain, but I'll still share that with you. This is still a very tentative figure. The voter turnout, 83.36%. But as you know, what happens is that this is based on the data given by all the returning officers, 59 of them. We have 60 constituencies, but one was uncontested. So 83.36% is still not the final figure. Some ROs, because of connectivity issues or some remote locations, if there are power issues, they will be further updating this. And the second aspect is also that, as you know, as per our election laws, 7 to 4 is the official time, but at 4 o'clock, if voters are there in the queue, they are given tokens and they are allowed to vote. So we had a rough estimate of how many polling booths such voting may continue beyond 4 p.m. So we have 171 polling stations where spread in all the districts where the number of voters is more than 1,000. So we were anticipating that there the voting will go on beyond 4 p.m. So as we compile the figures from these polling stations, as all the ROs are able to upload, this figure will certainly change. But this is just a tentative indicative figure, and this is available in the voter turnout app also, which many of you may be already using. So based on this tentative figure, just if you are interested, Pugoboto has the highest percentage of voting, 92.11. Semenyu has 90.88 after that, and Mon has 90.67. I could share some basic data with all of you. Because one constituency was uncontested, we had polling stations 2291. Average number of electors per polling stations 566. We had 387 polling stations which were managed by women polling officials. PWD managed 3 polling stations. Model polling stations we had set up 42, and in 1647 polling booths, live webcasting was done. We had 7940 service voters. This is some basic data, and more than 3,000 control units, ballot units, VVPATs each were used, including the reserve, which is a standard protocol. The preparations for this polling, as I mentioned, has been going on for several weeks, several months actually, whether it is the EVM commissioning, trainings at various levels, at the level of DEOs, polling parties, the entire machinery, the enforcement agencies which have been involved. So now, today that part comes to a close, though it will still continue into the night as the polling parties return and they submit all the polling material back to the district headquarters. And then second is the counting day. So as per standard procedure, tomorrow at 11 a.m. the scrutiny of all the various documents is also done at the district level. Overall law and order today was also all right. There were some incidents, but because of prompt action by our police and other security agencies and the district administration, the situation was brought under control. So that is the overall situation. Further details of some of those incidents, our police nodal officer is here. He will be giving. Yesterday there was also an unfortunate accident where one civilian lost his life and some were critically injured. We had to airlift them to Dimapur. But in a huge exercise, these kinds of logistics are there. These unfortunate things do happen. Today also one accident happened. We hope it doesn't happen in future. We try to take all precautions, but as if these things unfortunately happen. That is the broad picture. I again thank all our media friends and all the different stakeholders who have actively participated in this democratic exercise. And to keep the law and order situation normal, I had also gone along with the DGP and the Home Commissioner to 2 districts, Wokha and Mokchung, which had seen some incidents of people violence. This visit was not today. It was day before yesterday. We had gone to these districts and we have personally reviewed the situation also. So this is the broad picture. After this, maybe I'll request our police nodal to also give a brief overview of the situation as it has been today.
Thank you, sir, and my very most esteemed media friends. Like sir has already mentioned, the overall law and order situation today was by and large peaceful, barring a few incidents of concern which were raised in Wokha. Then one incident was reported from Manyakshu and one incident from Atuiza constituency. So these were 3 major incidents, I would say, where because of the timely intervention of the law enforcement agencies, including the paramilitary forces, we were able to contain the situation. In Wokha constituency under 40 Bandari, in Akok village, in the vicinity of polling station 1 and 4, at around 6:30 a.m. there were some skirmishes that happened, which was followed by some gunshots. Accordingly, the polling party of MP police, which was stationed in the polling station vicinity, were guarding the polling station. They had to resort to firing. They fired 8 rounds in the air and brought the situation under control. When the mob ran off, because of the intervention of the sector magistrate and the commander. Reportedly, 2 persons were injured. I think both of them are not too critically injured. As of now, it has been made to understand that they're in Bandari Hospital, but out of danger. So that was one incident that was reported early morning. Second incident happened in Manyakshu constituency under Mon, when some stone pelting incidents took place between the supporter of 2 candidates, and one security personnel of the ITBP, the Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, and one Nagaland police personnel was injured. But then again, the injuries were not too major, and because of the response by the police, again the situation was normalized. Firing incident was reported at Outsakili village at a distance of about 200 meters from polling station 2 and 32 AC, polling station 2 under 32 AC Atoiza constituency. There were 3 firing incidents, one at 10:30, one at 11:30, and the other at 1300. However, reinforcement of the provincial armed constabulary of the UP police and one section of E9 of Nagaland IRB and special team of DEF responded to the situation. This was basically a diversionary tactic. It was not targeted at any particular person in question. Basically, I think the miscreants were trying to take a diversionary tactic and carry out some firing. And these were all mostly blank firing, and no casualties or loss of life or property was reported. In an unfortunate incident, as our sir has already mentioned, an accident took place today again, while the team of the polling personnel and security personnel were returning back from Enrio Longcham, that is under Ralan subdivision. The vehicle which they were moving met with an accident, and one of the constables of the MP police unfortunately lost his life. His mortal remains has been brought to Woka for necessary PM examination and will be accordingly taken to his state. The rest of the persons, reportedly 3 injured, out of which 1 is seriously injured. They have been examined as of now in Woka, and depending on the gravity of the injury, necessary evacuation process will be started early morning tomorrow. Today, a total of 1,99,350 rupees was seized by the, by the SSTs and the FSTs. The total seizure made by police during the MCC period was stands at rupees 35 crores 79 lakhs 49,059. So this is almost 10-fold increase than the previous seizures which were made. In the last 24 hours, nearly 80 persons were bound down, mostly in Dimapur and some in Mokokchung. Those binding down actions were taken by the respective district police, because of which I think we were able to conduct the elections very peacefully and successfully. I would like to place on record the leadership provided by our DGP sir and all the senior officers in PHQ, and it has been a very well coordinated effort, though we had faced a lot of challenges in terms of skirmishes from different parts of the district. With the additional manpower of the CRPF which we had received from the ECI and the MHA, we were able to contain the situation, and barring a few incidents, I think today more so, we have been able to complete the the huge task of carrying out the polling exercise in the best possible manner. So this is from my side. Thank you.
Our CEO and our CEO will be if there's any clarification or any questions, our CEO would take the questions now. I would request anyone